Breaking news in Raleigh this morning. We're live at the scene of a very serious crash involving 3 vehicles, including a UPS truck. I'll walk you through the details of this investigation.
And here comes our cold front. This is the one that's going to move us into a more unsettled pattern for the holiday weekend. I'll show you which day the thunderstorms will begin.
A man is dead after a shooting in Durham last night, and the scene behind me is still very active. Coming up, I'll tell you what we're learning from police.
And multiple people are dead after a tornado outbreak in Iowa. New images of the destruction. The damage just takes your breath away there. The Midwest getting pummeled with severe weather. We're grateful for our quiet weather here. Good morning, everyone. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Yeah, one more day of it. And then we have some interesting system changes rolling in. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center alluded to them tomorrow. But yeah, pretty quiet out there. Comfortable.
Yeah, beautiful out there again this morning. And right there under the banner that says Fenton and Carey is the big, beautiful moon. If you get a chance to peek out your window or head outside, it looks absolutely gorgeous right now. So skies are clear. This, of course, a live look at Fenton and Carey. 67 is our temperature. Our dew point is sitting at 60, which is still comfortable, but that is about to change. We're going to see that climbing along with our temperatures. Right now, we're looking at 55 in Roxborough. It's 59 in Clinton, 57 in Goldsboro, and then low 60s across the triangle and in other spots. Hour by hour, we'll see temperatures in the mid-80s at lunchtime. Now, yesterday we were in the mid-70s at lunchtime, so you're going to notice the heat rolling in and almost 90 degrees for our high this afternoon. We take a look at tomorrow, and we start to see the next system rolling closer to us. There's 10 a.m. We're pretty quiet in the morning, but during the afternoon and evening, there's 3 o'clock. Scattered showers and thunderstorms begin, and we're going to see that wave of rain and storms moving through the area. We do have a level 1 risk of severe weather for tomorrow from Fayetteville northward. And we'll talk a little bit more about what our threats will be coming up.
We have breaking news we're following this morning. Emergency crews are on the scene of a serious crash in Raleigh. And WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live from the intersection of East Millbrook Road and Atlantic Avenue. Laura, tell us about this massive scene out there.
This is a very fluid situation right now, Jeff. As I step out the way behind me, you can see one of 3 vehicles involved in this crash. You can see the front of this red car mangled beyond recognition here, the airbags deployed. If we pan the camera this way, you can see so much debris and parts of cars scattered across this roadway. I mean, several investigators with Raleigh police on the scene right now, EMS and fire crews. If we continue to pan, here is the second vehicle involved in the crash here. It's a pickup truck, also looking at some really pretty significant damage. And this UPS truck here also involved in this crash. So we're working to learn how this exactly happened, getting the call just before 4 o'clock this morning. But this is spanning all the way down East Millbrook and Atlantic Avenue. This specific area closed off by police. This is near the Exxon and Circle K, if you are familiar with this area of Raleigh. A lot to figure out this morning. How did this happen? How many people are involved? How are they doing this morning? We are working with Raleigh police to learn their conditions as soon as they have that information, but this is pretty early on in their investigation right now. We continue to see officers moving in and out of this area, assessing some of the damage and continuing to work on that crash report. So as soon as we learn more, we'll continue to update you. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
A man is dead after a shooting in Durham. This happened at around 8:30 last night in a business parking lot. Nick Perlin joins us from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker on Guest Road. And Nick, investigators have been on the scene for about 8 hours.
Renee, that's right. And this area of Guest Road behind me is still taped off as police continue their investigation, trying to figure out what led to this shooting. This is a very large crime scene behind me. I do want to get you to some video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker to show you what this scene looked like a couple hours ago. And you're going to see dozens of evidence markers scattered across this area of Guest Road. And remember, these evidence markers are marking shell casings left behind from gunshots. Now, this is what we know. Durham police arrived here at 8:30 last night, and they found a man shot in a parking lot. That man died here. Now, several businesses behind me are taped off. I'm still trying to learn what exact business this shooting happened. We're also trying to find out if Durham police know who fired their gun last night. We'll keep asking questions here. Reporting live in Durham, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
A bill that would make wearing a mask in public a crime has hit a wall in the state house. Republicans say they won't sign off on it after it was passed by the Senate. State law currently allows you to wear a mask for health reasons because of an exception made during the pandemic. Some Senate Republicans want to get rid of that exception. The Speaker's office says the House will vote today not to agree to the Senate's changes. From there, the bill will go into a committee where the House and Senate can either reach a compromise or drop it altogether.
New this morning, a man is in custody after officers say he shot at an employee inside an apartment complex's office area. This happened in Roanoke Rapids on Becker Drive. Police say this man, 72-year-old Linwood Miles, shot at a maintenance worker and missed. Police say it happened due to a disagreement that escalated. They tell us the suspect said he hated the employee and wanted him to die. Officers later found Miles in his apartment and took him into custody. They say he appeared to be highly intoxicated. Miles was charged with attempted first-degree murder, among other charges.
This week, North Carolina's public university system is expected to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion policies on campus. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from NC State. And Kelsey, today a state representative will show support for these programs.
Jeff, the decisions that are made inside of this building, Winslow Hall, could change very soon. NC State's Office for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion is here. And this morning, students, state leaders, and business owners will talk about what getting rid of DEI could mean for our state. 17 colleges and universities across the state would be impacted by the policy change. UNC is one of the most notable. Several DEI-related job positions are on the line. The new rules would require for those job descriptions to be changed or eliminated by September 1st. Representative Maria Cervania is holding a news conference today about the board's decision. She became one of the first Asian American women to be elected in the state legislature last year.
There will be so much implication if this happens, when this happens, and not only just in the system, but for our whole ecosystem when it comes to economic development and our whole state of North Carolina.
The Board of Governors is expected to make their final decision tomorrow, and that news conference is scheduled for this morning at 9 o'clock. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
2 people are out of their home after a fire in Moore County. Crews responded to Forest Lake Lane off Pine Hill Road north of Pinehurst last night. They found a mobile home fully engulfed. Firefighters were able to knock that fire down within minutes, but the home was gutted. No one was hurt. The Red Cross is helping those people who live there.
Utter devastation in Iowa after a tornado outbreak. Authorities say multiple people are dead after a tornado leveled the town of Greenfield. This is an hour west of Des Moines. This drone video shows what's left of the community of around 2,000 people. We're expecting authorities there to release more information about the destruction later today. Authorities issued a curfew in the community last night. People will be allowed to come back and assess the damage in just a few hours. Another storm-related death was confirmed in a community about 30 miles away from Greenfield. Iowa's governor has put 15 counties under a disaster emergency.
A woman is facing charges after authorities say her dogs attacked 3 people, including a child, in a neighborhood near Jordan Lake. Chatham County deputies say it happened in the Firefly Overlook housing development. They say 4 pit bulls attacked a mother and her 12-year-old son about 6:30 last night. Authorities say the dogs had also attacked a 66-year-old man earlier in the day. Deputies were able to capture 3 of the dogs. 1 was shot and killed. The sheriff's office says the dogs belong to 31-year-old Brittany Fountain of Hope Mills. She's facing charges including animal cruelty. Everyone who was bitten is expected to be okay.
Good morning. I'm Chris Lovingood in the WRAL Live Center. I want to show you some fresh images into the newsroom from overnight. This is in Tehran in Iran during a funeral procession for the late President Ibrahim Raisi after the helicopter crash this week that killed him, the foreign minister, as well as others who were aboard that helicopter. This is part of several days of mourning being observed in the country. There are reports also coming out that Iran's supreme leader is performing prayers for the victims of that crash.
Thanks, Chris. Tonight, you can learn more about Durham's plan to fix lead contamination found in some city parks there. It's been nearly a year since lead was discovered in the soil at 5 parks. Monday night, the city manager presented her proposed budget, which allocates $5 million to fixing the issues at these parks scattered across Durham. Tonight at 6:30, the Parks and Rec Department is hosting a virtual public forum for people to get answers about this issue.
A former North Carolina doctor serving life for murder is expected to leave prison tomorrow. Vince Gilmer admitted to killing his father, whom he accused of sexually abusing him as a child. Gilmer is confined to a wheelchair in the final stages of Huntington's disease. A judge granted him a conditional pardon 2 years ago, but until now, he didn't qualify for release.
A ramp lane from I-40 onto US 70, exit 309 on 40 East, will be closed again this morning for the commute. This is in Clayton. The ramp will close starting at 7 a.m. and should reopen in the afternoon. It could cause some slowdowns or even some backups there, so leave a little extra time for yourself for your morning drive. We'll have a look into the law enforcement response to last year's mass shooting in Maine. It's shedding light on several major mistakes. We'll break down that report that says the response was utter chaos.
Plus, a new project is getting underway on the Outer Banks to protect our shorelines ahead of hurricane season.
Live look here in Goldsboro this morning, and we have hot temperatures on our way today for the forecast. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will tell us about the level 1 risk for storms for tomorrow. That's coming up after the break.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It's 4:44. We take a live look at Apex this morning. Nice and quiet, beautiful morning for a walk or a run. And so often we'll see folks out really early there on Salem Street. I don't see anybody at the moment, but I bet there'll be plenty out a little later on. Our temperatures range from the upper 50s to low and mid 60s. It is 62 in Southern Pines, 61 in Irwin, 62 South Hill, and 59 in Tarboro and in Lewisburg. Our skies are clear this morning. The kids may or may not need a jacket this morning with temperatures like that. If they're not going to be out for too long, it feels pretty comfortable. Temperatures at lunchtime will be much warmer than yesterday. We'll climb into the mid 80s and we'll see a high of nearly 90. We do have some much warmer temperatures in our forecast for the next few days before the thunderstorms roll in for the weekend. We'll take a look at that coming up.
The law enforcement response to last year's mass shooting in Maine was called utter chaos by the Portland Police Department. It claims some deputies were drunk when they arrived. The Associated Press obtained the report. It accuses drunken deputies nearly crashing an armored vehicle at the scene of the October shooting. The sheriff's office denies any deputies had been drinking. The report also says deputies who showed up to the scene in plain clothes without being dispatched caused chaos and confusion. 18 people were killed in the shooting at a bar and bowling alley.
Rudy Giuliani and 10 others have pleaded not guilty to charges of conspiring to overturn the 2020 presidential election results in Arizona. Giuliani was ordered to post a $10,000 bond for avoiding the state's efforts to serve him with a summons. Last month, a grand jury indicted several people for their alleged efforts to overturn the legitimate results in that state. The scheme included creating a slate of alternate electors from Arizona.
Peloton says it will no longer use Sean Diddy Combs' music on its playlists. Peloton posted to its private members page on Facebook saying it is pausing the use of Diddy's music. It's also removing its Bad Boy Entertainment Artist series of classes, which use music from Diddy's record label. This comes after a video from 2016 surfaced appearing to show Diddy kicking and shoving his girlfriend.
Surveillance video shows the moments someone robbed a Smithfield vape shop. Police say this happened a week ago at the Mr. Smoke and Vape on East Market Street. The robber walked into the shop wearing a mask and pulled out a gun and demanded money. Police say that person fired a round into the wall. No one was hit. The robber took off with cash and merchandise in a red sedan. If you know anything about this, contact police.
NASA has delayed the launch of Boeing's Starliner spacecraft again. The launch was put on hold last night to give managers more time to evaluate a small helium leak in the ship's propulsion system. NASA has not announced when another launch attempt might be made. The Starliner's inaugural voyage will carry 2 astronauts to the International Space Station for a 10-day mission. Carolina Panthers are sharing their latest plans for a new practice facility. These are renderings presented at a rezoning meeting last week. It'll include a new field house, outdoor fields, and a fan viewing deck. The team started putting this plan into motion earlier this year, preparing to build the facility near Bank of America Stadium. This comes 2 years after a plan to put the practice facility in Rock Hill, South Carolina, failed.
Today, a town on the Outer Banks will celebrate the start of an environmental preservation project. The town of Duck will hold the ribbon cutting ceremony for the Living Shoreline and Resiliency Project along NC 12. Living shorelines are made of natural materials such as oyster shells, rock, and granite. They help protect the shoreline from threats like hurricanes and rising sea levels. The ceremony is happening this afternoon at 2 on Duck Road.
Surf City is taking extra steps to keep families safe while on a beach vacation. The city is putting up safety stations at every access point. They'll be up along the dunes there, and these stations will feature signs with information on water conditions and how to help a swimmer in trouble, plus a flotation device. Last year, there were 47 swimming-related incidents. 2 people drowned. Town officials hope these new resources will help save lives.
Life safety information. What is the beach conditions of the day? Is it an elevated risk? Is it a high risk? Or also, what are some things you should look for when you talk about beach safety?
Right now, 11 of those 39 stations are set up on the beach. Town leaders hope to have the rest installed in the coming weeks.
It is 4:48, and we've been talking about the Outer Banks, Surf City. The beaches will be popular places this coming holiday weekend, and everyone's looking at the forecast. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
Yeah, we're looking at the change in our weather pattern to a better chance for scattered storms starting tomorrow, and that'll continue into the weekend. We'll take a look at what's happening right now. Gorgeous out there. Look at this beautiful moon. It's about to set there behind the trees at Fitton and Cary. Our temperature is comfortable. We're in the mid to upper 70s in the triangle, and we have a fairly light wind, but the wind is coming out of the south now. So far this week, our wind has been coming out of the northeast, and that's kept our humidity down, and it's kept our temperatures on the comfortable side. That southerly wind will start to bring in the warmth and the humidity, and we'll notice a big difference. It's comfortable this morning, but by lunchtime, temperatures will already be in the mid-80s, and that was our high temperature in the afternoon yesterday. Our skies are clear, so we have the top of the tower lit in blue, and look at this gorgeous photo. I mean, it was such a pretty day yesterday. So we thank our weather watcher, August Langer-Hans, for this beautiful picture of Lake Johnson. And we would love to see your Weather Watcher photos as well. Go to WRAL.com, search Weather Watchers, post those pictures up, and we'll get them on TV. We'll see highs of almost 90 degrees this afternoon, 89 in Raleigh and Durham, 90 in Fayetteville. It stays dry today, but tomorrow we move into that better chance for some scattered storms. And we'll go over that in just a second. We're sitting right there between tolerable and comfy this morning in terms of our muggy meter, but it is on its way up. It's still going to be very comfortable at the Bulls game tonight. It's going to be a nice one. We'll see partly cloudy skies, 84 at 6 o'clock and 81 by 8 p.m. A shady spot will feel nice. But take a look at the heat index and the temperatures. We'll see 92 for the high tomorrow. It'll feel like around 92. It'll still feel like 92 on Friday and may feel like the mid-90s all the way through the weekend. We're going to hit 90 again on Monday. It may not last all the way into the summer on and on. This is very interesting. We don't often see a big cool down as we're starting June, but it looks like we may have below normal temperatures. And as we get closer, that'll be something fun to talk about. But what is getting closer is this cold front. You can see some showers and storms along the Mississippi Valley. That is headed our way. This is Thursday. We take a look at lunchtime, and we're starting to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms, and those become more numerous around the evening commute and around dinner time. So we do have that chance of thunderstorms. Some of those may be strong to severe. Brand new this morning, we have a level 1 risk for most of our counties for tomorrow. It's also going to be a hot one tomorrow at 92. As we look at the holiday weekend, we have a chance of showers and thunderstorms each day, but I'll go over the days hour by hour coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Elizabeth. A new state historical marker will be set up this week. We'll tell you about the pair of segregation-era beach resorts that'll be honored.
And a creepy-looking fish washes ashore in Oregon. We'll tell you what it is and how rare it is.
Hugh Jackman is banding together with the Merry Men and honor for singer Cyndi Lauper. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
Let me give you a little context for me.
Hugh Jackman is headed to Sherwood Forest. He's set to star in The Death of Robin Hood as an aging and gravely injured version of the mythical outlaw offered one last chance at salvation. Filming is expected to begin next February. A24 snapped up the rights to the project, considered one of the hottest properties up for bid at this year's Cannes Film Festival.
I've been in this business a long time, yes.
Another honor for Cyndi Lauper. The music legend is set to leave her mark in a handprint and footprint ceremony at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood. The Grammy, Emmy, and Tony winner will be honored Tuesday, June 4th.
This is an epic story.
cosmic proportions.
If the 126-minute runtime of The Fall Guy wasn't long enough for you, you're in luck. Universal has released an extended cut of the action comedy featuring an additional 20 minutes of never-before-seen footage. Both versions of The Fall Guy are now available on digital platforms. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The last full moon of the spring, called the flower moon, will peak tomorrow morning. The next full moon in 2024 will be on June 21st. That's known as the strawberry moon.
A new highway historical marker will recognize a pair of segregation-era beach resorts at the North Carolina coast. Seabreeze was established in 1922, Freeman Beach in 1951. Both are in the Wilmington area. For years, they were a summertime leisure spot for thousands of black visitors. The resorts closed in the 1970s after storms damaged many of the buildings there. This Friday, a marker will be set up at Seabreeze commemorating the resorts and their history. All right, check this out. An alien-like deep-sea anglerfish washed up on an Oregon beach recently. Beachcombers discovered it just south of Cannon Beach, that's northwest of Portland. It's called a Pacific football fish. Experts say only 31 species have been recorded worldwide. According to Oregon Seaside Aquarium, the Pacific football fish lives in complete darkness, thousands of feet below the ocean's surface. Creepy looking though, huh? Breaking news this morning, crews are on the scene of a major crash in Raleigh involving a UPS truck and a few other vehicles. We'll show you the damage at that intersection.
Destruction in Iowa after a tornado breakout. We have a look at the damage.
Basketball star Caitlin Clark has a new achievement that hasn't been done since Michael Jordan. What we know about her deal with Wilson Sporting Goods.